Hello friends, welcome to Solving Sudoku. Here's the book, of course. Make sure to grab your copy. It's awesome. This is puzzle number 5 that we're working on. Let's go over our basic rules a tiny bit. Okay, so rule number 1, of course, no duplicates in any column, row, or big box. It's got to be 1 through 9. Number 2, if a number is restricted to a certain row or column or a big box, it can be erased from the same rows or columns in other big boxes. So, for instance, here's a simple one. We know 8 has to be on top in this box, this big box. So when we consider this big column, we know 8 cannot be on top in this big box or on top in this big box. We already know where 8 is. It can't be here and here. Now that also applies if you've got 2 options. Let's pretend that 2 can be here or here, but it can't be anywhere down here. If it can only be up here, then as far as this big row is concerned, 2 is solved on the top. It's here or here. It can't be on the top here, and it can't be on the top here because it's on the top here. It can't be on the bottoms here, so it has to be on the bottoms here and here. Now the opposite applies, and we're probably going to be writing this soon. Hopefully we'll end up using that in this specific puzzle, but we'll see. If 2 can only be on the bottom 2 in this one, and can only be on the bottom 2 in this one, then it has to be on the top in this one. And to say that another way, if 2 can't be on the top in this big box, and it can't be on the top in this big box, then it has to be on the top in this big box. So that's what rule number 2 is, and we'll go more into detail about this other half as soon as we come across an example of it. Number 3, if a number can only be in one cell in a row, column, or big box, then that's where it goes, right? A silly example is 8 can only be here. Therefore, 8 is there, obviously. Now, once we write all our small numbers in, pretend that in this top row, 2 could only go here. This is the only cell that had a 2 in it. No 2s were here, no 2s were here, no 2s were here, no 2s were here. Clearly this is 2. It's the only place 2 can go. So that's what that's about. Number 4. If only one cell is unsolved in a row, column, or big box, then put in the missing number. Right, so if we solved all of these except for this one, all of these had big magnet numbers in them except for this one, we would just have to find the missing big magnet number and put it there of 1 through 9, obviously. Number 5, after all of the numbers are written in, we got to remember to write everything in. After they're all written in, if a cell only has one choice, then that's the answer, right? So like in this one, for instance, if all these were filled in with a bunch of missing numbers, except this one only had a 1, like that was it, just a 1, then we could erase that 1 and just put the 1 there, because obviously it's the only answer, the only possibility. Good. Number 6, if 2 cells in a row, column, or big box only have the same 2 choices, then they can be erased in the rest of that row, column, or big box. That's 2 options, 2 cells, right? We've talked about this a lot. If this is 1, 2, and that's it, and this is 1, 2, and that's it, then 1 and 2 are basically done. We don't know exactly where they go, but if 1's here, 2's here, that's it. If 2's here, 1's here, that's it. There's no other way to get out of 1's and 2's here, because that's all that's up here. 1, 2, 1, 2. Therefore, we can get rid of all the 1, 2's in the rest of this big box, because we know 1, 2 is going to be here and here. And we can get rid of all the 1, 2's in this top row, because we know 1 and 2 are going to be here or here. Good. 2 cells, 2 options. That's a huge one. And obviously that expands out. You can have 3 cells, 3 options, 4 cells, 4 options. That's a huge one. Okay, number 7. If only 2 cells in a row, column, or big box have the same 2 numbers, then you can erase the other numbers in those 2 cells. So this is just the opposite of what we just talked about. Pretend like 1 and 2, 1, 2, and 1, 2. In this top row, these are the only 2 cells with 1 and 2 in them. But they have extra numbers. Let's say this is 1, 2, 3 and 1, 2, 4. But there's no 1, 2s anywhere else. You can erase that 3 and that 4. Okay? Now you can't do both of these in the same instance. Right? Let's pretend that you have 1, 2, 1, 2, and there's a 1 over here. You can't be like, oh, this is just 1, 2, 1, 2, and I'll just erase this 1, right? And then from there be like, oh, look, here's the only 1, 2, 1, 2, so I can erase the other numbers in here. You can't do both. 1 and 2 have to only be here for either of these to work. Good. Yeah, this is just the opposite of this. And we're going to find that every rule we make has the opposite of it. Okay, good. Well, let's get started on this puzzle, shall we? We've had a little tiny change to our room. So I don't have a table anymore, so I got to find my pen. So give me a second to find that, because I want to write our small numbers. Oops. Well, I only see this red pen. I only see this red pen, so I'm going to try to use this one. Hopefully it'll do the trick. We shall see. All right, so of course, the first thing we want to do is just glance over the puzzle and see if there's anything that we can solve real quick. Starting with 1s. We've got 2 1s down here and 1 up here. So that makes this look interesting. It looks like 1 can't be here. So it can only be there and there. And it can't be across the middle. Now, normally this would make a sideways T, of course, except 9 and 8 are already solved. So 1s can only be here. Now, as we talked about with rule number 4, unsolved, no. Oh, number 2, with rule number 2. 1s are both restricted to the bottom here because of this guy. 1s can't be here, and all of these are solved. So 1s can only be here. Now, for this big row, that means they're on the bottom. 1 will be on the bottom in this box. We don't know exactly where, but we know it will be on the bottom. Therefore, it cannot be on the bottom here and here. Now, this one's obvious because it's already solved in the middle, but this one's not. So it can't be on the bottom, it can't be on the middle, and it can't be on the right. And because this 7 is solved, we know it has to be right here. So that's awesome. I'm going to put a 1 there. That was cool. Okay. Any other cool things we learned about 1? 1 can't be across the bottom, can't be across the middle, can't be down the middle. That leaves these 2, so that doesn't help us. I think that's about all we got for 1s. Can't be here, can't be here. That leaves these 2, no help. Yeah, okay. 1s are done as far as we can do. How about 2s? Let's see. 2s can't be across the bottom, can't be up here, upside down T. That leaves 3 options, no help at all. 2s cannot be across the top. This is interesting. Can't be across the top. That just leaves these 2. So we know 2 has to be on the left in this big box. Therefore, it cannot be on the left in this big box or this big box. But unfortunately, that doesn't really help us. Can't be on the left, can't be on the right. That leaves all three in the middle, so no help there. So we can't do anything with 2s. 3s look just as bad. We've only got 2, it looks like. Can't be across, up the middle or across the middle, so it just leaves a big X. So that leaves these 2 as choices. This one, same thing, big X. Can't be across the middle, can't be down the middle. That leaves these 2. All right, 4s. We've got 3 4s, but they're all in the same big row, so it doesn't help us much at all. This one, this is probably the most interesting one. 4s can't be on the left. That leaves these top 2 as choices. So that means it has to be on the top in this big box. Therefore, it can't be on the top in this big box or this big box. So it can't be on the top, can't be down there. That doesn't help us. Can't be on the top, can't be down there. That does help us. Look at that. 4 can't be on the left. Therefore, it must be on the top because all of these are solved. Now, if it must be on the top here, then it can't be on the top here because we can't have 4 or 2 4s on the top. So it can't be on the top there, and it can't be on the left. So that takes all of these out, which just leaves that one box as a 4. Cool. We got a 4. That's awesome. Now here, up and up, all 3 of these are still options. All of these are still options. Yeah, okay. Well, we got a 4. That was pretty good. Okay, 5s. Ooh, this is good. 5 can't be on the right, can't be in the middle, and these 2 are already solved. Therefore, it must be there on the left. That's a good one. Because of this 5 and this 5, we know that 5 because these 2 are solved. Good. So we got a 5. How about this one? 5 can't be across the bottom because of this 5. 5 can't be across the middle because of this 5. These 2 are already solved, so 5 has to go there. Nice. Wow, 5s are doing okay. We got 2 of them. Okay, how about this guy? 5s can't be across the bottom because of this one. 5s can't be across the middle because of this one. And 5s can't be on the right because of this one. This is already solved, therefore 5 must be there. Wow. Okay, how about this one? 5s can't be on the left because of this guy. They can't be on the right because of that guy. They can't be across the middle because of this one. That leaves these 2. So unfortunately, no luck there. But let's look at this one over here. 5 can't be on the left, can't be up the middle, so that leaves these 2. But this guy says it can't be across the middle, so it has to be there. That's cool. Oops, there we go. Now we can go back to here. 5 cannot be on the left, it cannot be on the right, it cannot be on the bottom, and it cannot be in the middle. That just leaves the top middle. Nice. Wow, we solved all the 5s this way. Very cool. Okay, on to 6s now. This guy right here. 6 can't be across the top, and it can't be across the bottom. Therefore, it has to be right there. It has to be across the middle, and these 2 are already solved. So clearly, it goes right there. Good. We have this 6 here, so we can look at this guy. Can't be on the right, can't be on the left, but that leaves the whole middle wide open, so nothing there. How about this guy? Can't be across the middle, can't be down the middle, so that's a plus sign. That leaves these 2, unfortunately. How about this guy? Can't be on the right, can't be across the middle, so it's like a sideways T. That leaves these 2. I think that's about all the 6s we get. All right, how about on to 7s? Okay, no 7s across the top, no 7s across the middle, no 7s on the right. That leaves these 2, so no luck there. How about this guy? No 7s on the left, no 7s across the bottom. That leaves these 3. How about this one? No 7s on the left. That leaves just these 2 because all 4 of these are solved. So 7 has to be on top here. So we can't solve this, but we did learn something. 7 has to be on the top. So let's look at this one again, just in case anything changed. 7 cannot be on the top because it has to be on the top here. Cannot be on the bottom because it has to be on the bottom here because it's solved. And it cannot be on the left. That leaves those two. Nope, unfortunately, we didn't learn anything new there. All right, that's all right. Let's move on to 8s. Okay, we've got 2 8s here and an 8 there. So 8 can't be on the left here. It can't be in the middle here. That leaves these two. And this says it can't be on the top. Therefore, it has to be on the bottom. So that's awesome because that 5's already solved. So it helped us out there. Nice. We got an 8 out of that. Good. How about this one? 8 can't be across the top and it can't be across the bottom. So it has to be in the middle. But no help other than that from these two boxes. Just as a reminder, when you're looking at a big box, you need to check the 4 boxes that are not diagonal from it to see if you can solve it. If we had an 8 here and here and here and here, we would solve the 8 here. Okay, but we don't. We only have 8s here and here, and these two are blank, so it leaves us a bunch of choices. So no luck there. How about this guy? 8 cannot be across the top, which just leaves these two because all 4 of these are solved. So it has to be on the left down here. So we haven't solved it here, but we do know it has to be on the left. So that's cool. So let's look at this one and see if that helps us. It can't be on the left here, and it can't be on the right here, and it can't be on the top here, and the middle solved, so it has to be right there. That's really great. Thanks to this 8 over here and this solved 1, we're able to put that 8 there. It's very important to notice these things. Now, of course, we would catch it eventually if we were just writing in the small numbers. We would realize, hey, 8's only written here. That means it can't be on the left here and here, you know. But if you can just see it, then just run with it. Okay, so this one, none across the top, none across the bottom, that leaves all 3. None across the top, none across the bottom, that leaves all 3. None across the top, that leaves 5. Wow, okay. I think 8s are basically as done as we're going to get them, but that was good. All right, so now 9s. Boy, I think we only have 2 9s. All right, nothing on the left or right, so that leaves 3 in the middle. Nothing cool there. Nothing across the bottom, nothing cool there. Nothing across the top, nothing really cool there. I don't think we can do anything with 9s. Okay, so now we could go back and just check everything again because we've answered some questions here. For instance, look at this 1. No 1s across the top. No 1s across the middle, no 1s on the right. That leaves these 2, but we solved the 5, so we know that 1 has to go here. Okay? Now, so you can keep doing this process and getting more and more answers, but each time you go through it, you'll get less and less, obviously. I don't want to do that too much because I want us to try to use our rules. We might be able to solve this just by looking at it. But I'd rather write some numbers in and try to use some of our rules so we get used to them. So let's do that. Let's start with 1s, okay? The top big row is completely solved, so let's go down to here. Nothing on the right, nothing in the middle. That leaves these 2. No help in this direction. Therefore, we have 2 1s here. I hope you guys can see this. Good. How about this guy? Nothing on the right, nothing in the middle, no help across. Therefore, that leaves 2 1s here. How about this guy at the end? Nothing down the middle, and that's really it for help. So we have 1s here, here, and here. There we go. Okay. Now this one. Nothing across the bottom, nothing across the middle, nothing in the middle. 1, 1. There. Okay, this is interesting. 1s are restricted to the top, so they can't be on the top here and here. We already know that because they're on the bottom and the middle, already solved. Same thing is true with these, right? Can't be on the left. Now, we've already solved it on the middle and on the right. Same thing here. Can't be on the left, but we've already solved them, so it doesn't really matter. Good. Okay, on to 2s. So it looks like we don't have many 2s. So let's just start with this one. Nothing across the bottom, nothing up the middle. So that leaves these 2 as possibilities for 2. Okay. Now this is interesting because they're in the middle, only in the middle. If they have to be in the middle here, they can't be in the middle here and here. Now we already sort of know that because this middle's solved and this 2 is solved. So moving on to this though, this is cool. Can't be across the bottom and can't be across the middle. That just leaves the top, and 2 of them are solved. So 2 has to go there. So that's cool. We got a 2. Okay. And now, for fun, we can leap ahead and say, wait a minute. This big box has everything solved except for one cell. And we have a rule for that. If only one cell is unsolved in a row, column, or big box, then put in the missing number, right? What does it have to be? 1, 2, 3, 4. It has to be 4. 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. We have every other number except for 4. So it goes right there. Nice. Okay. Yeah, that'll help us later. But back to 2s. Top big row is done. How about this middle big row? Oh, this is rough, man. Okay, so starting with this one, no 2s on the right. That is the only help we get. So we're putting in 5 2s. So far, that's our record for the most numbers. Okay, how about this one? No 2s up the middle. That's all the help we get. So we're putting 4 2s into this one. Good. How about this guy? No 2s on the right. That's all the help we get. Uh-oh, this is tying for the lead. We got 5 2s in here. There we go. Okay. Now, how about the bottom big row? All right, we'll start over here. No 2s across the top and no 2s down the right. So that just leaves these 4. But 2 of them are already solved, which means these are the only possible 2s here. Now, this is cool. They are only on the left. 2 has to be on the left down here. Therefore, it cannot be on the left here and here. So we can erase any little 2s on the left here and here. So I'm going to erase this 2. Oh, man. And this 2. I better rewrite my 1 because it got a little crazy there. There we go. Okay. So that's cool. That reduced this to 3. So now there's only 3 choices for 2s there. That's awesome. Okay. This one's already done. So let's move on to this one. 2s cannot be across the top. Now, because all 4 of these are solved, we know 2s can only be here on the left. Very cool. Because they have to be on the left here. They can't be on the left here or here. Therefore, we can get rid of all the little 2s on the left here and here. Okay, good. So now our record is 3, I guess. These 2 are tied. Oh no, look, 4. This one has 4. So our record is 4. Okay, so on to number 3. Do we have a lot of 3s? We really don't have a lot of 3s, but we've got some. Let's start up here. This is cool. Nothing across the middle, nothing up the right. So it's a sideways T, which would leave these 4. But 3 of them are already solved, which means it has to be this one. Right? I mean, that's it. These 3 are already solved. It has to be that. I could just write a little 3 there and then move on. But we have the rule that says if only one cell in a big box, row, or column has one number in it. No. If a number is only represented once in a big box, a row, or a column, then you know that that's what that number is. So that's 3. Good. Okay. Nice. We solved that. Let's go on to this one. No 3s across the bottom. No 3s across the middle. No 3s up the middle. And this one's already solved. Therefore, this one has to be a 3. Wow, I didn't expect threes to be doing so well. Okay, let's move on to this one here. No threes on the right, no threes in the middle, no threes across the bottom. This one is already solved, therefore this one has to be a 3. Okay. On to this guy. This one's already solved, so we'll move on to this one. No threes across the top, no threes across the bottom, no threes down the middle. That leaves these 2. This one is already solved, therefore it has to be this one. Wow. So I'm not going to do this right this instant, but we can take notice, hey, the only place 1 can be in this entire big box is right here. We know this is 1. It's the only place a 1 can go in this whole thing. But I'm not going to do that yet. We'll save that for after. Okay, so 3. Now on to here. 3s can't be on the left. They can't be down the middle. That just leaves the right. These 2 are already solved. Therefore, it has to go there. Now this one can't be across the top, can't be across the middle, can't be on the left or right. Therefore, it has to be in the middle on the bottom. And this is a good example of the 4 boxes really helping out. We know it can't be across the top. We know it can't be across the middle. We know it can't be on the left. We know it can't be on the right. That literally is textbook example of the 4 non-diagonal boxes helping us solve this box, because all 4 of those are solved. Anytime you know all 4, you're going to know this one. It's just diagonal, can't help you. Okay, good. Well, I guess 3s are done. That's awesome. So let's move on to 4. Okay. We got a few 4s, but not a lot. So 4 can't be across the bottom because of this guy. And it can't be on the left because of this guy. So it's like an L. So that just leaves these 4, but these 2 are already solved. So it just leaves these 2. So we did learn that 4 has to be in the middle in this big box. It can't be on the top. It can't be on the bottom. It can only be in the middle. Therefore, it can't be in the middle here. So that's going to help us here. Can't be on the bottom. Can't be in the middle. Therefore, it has to be on the top. 2 of the top are already solved. So we know it goes right there. So I'm going to drop that 4 in there. Good. Okay. Middle big row, 4, 4, 4. Bottom, 4. Okay, so cannot be on the left, cannot be across the bottom. That makes that L looking thing. So that leaves these 4. One of them is already solved, so these 3 can be 4s. So I'm going to write those in. 4, 4, 4. Okay, good. Now this one over here, 4s cannot be on the left. They cannot be down the middle. Therefore, they have to be on the right. 2 of the right are already solved. So these are already solved, so we know this has to be the 4. There we go. And we had to erase that 1 to put the 4 there. That leaves only one place a 1 could possibly go in this big box. So we know that's 1. I'm not going to change it yet. This is a simple one. We're going to solve this pretty dang quick. Okay, so what are we missing for 4s? I like to go back and see. Okay, it's this one and this one. Oh, we solved this 4. Therefore, we have to do some cleanup. We can get rid of this 4, right? Because 4s can't be on the top. So the only places 4 can be are 2 here and 2 here. There's nothing we can do to solve that, but it's cool to know that they're lining up pretty nicely. Good. Oh, and they always will line up nicely, to be honest with you. If there's only 2 big boxes that you haven't solved a number in, they're going to line up like this. They can't be on the left because this one's solved. They can't be on the top or the bottom because those 2 are solved. Can't be on the top or the bottom because these 2 are solved. So it lines up. All right, 4s are good. On to 5s. So top big row is solved. Middle big row is solved. Bottom big row is solved. Okay, 5s are solved. Totally done. On to 6s. Top big row is solved. Wow, and that's it except for this one. So we'll start here. 6s can't be on the right or the left, so they have to be in the middle. Nothing is solved there, so 3 6s here. Ouch. Okay. How about this one? 6s cannot be in the middle, but they can be everywhere else. No help. So we're actually putting 4 6s in here, and this solves, this ties with the 4 2s that we put in there as the most numbers we've written so far. Okay, 6s here. Can't be on the right. No help anywhere else. So here are 4 6s again. Boy, 6 is rough. Okay, let's go down to the bottom. 6s cannot be on the right, cannot be across the middle. So we've got a sideways T, which leaves these 4. 2 of them are solved. So these 2 are possible 6s because of this sideways T. How about this one? No 6s across the middle, no 6s down the middle. That is just a big plus sign. So that leaves the 4 corners. 2 of those corners are already solved, so we get 2 6s there. And it looks like that's about it for 6s. And you guys can start to notice patterns as you're doing this. You can say to yourself, wow, 6 can only be on the left and the right here, and it can only be on the left and the right here, right? And you can think to yourself, well, duh, that's because this 6 is solved. But if that 6 wasn't solved and this pattern still emerged, that would tell us something about up here. Can't be in the middle, can't be in the middle, has to be in the middle, right? So it's good to keep an eye. Look at this one. Can't be on the right, can't be on the right, has to be on the right. Now, we already knew it because it's solved on the right. But if that wasn't solved there, you would know 6 would have to go here. Can't be on the right, can't be in the middle, has to be on the left. Good. Okay. So, I probably said that wrong. Has to be on the right, has to be in the middle, has to be on the left. Yeah. Sorry. Okay. On to 7s. Oh, this looks cool. Okay, so we got this one and this one. 7s can't be across the top, can't be across the middle. That means it has to be on the bottom, and 2 of the bottom are already solved, so we know that's the 7. So that's cool. We don't have a lot of 7s, though. So here, let's start with this one. 7 can't be on the left, can't be on the right, has to be in the middle. We've got no help from here, so all 3 of these can be 7s. Let's move on to this one. 7s can't be on the left. That is all the help we get. So here are 4 7s tying again. Oh my gosh. Okay. On to this one. 7s can't be on the left. That's all the help we get. So it's got to be all 4 of these. Okay. How about this guy down here? Oh, this is cool. 7s cannot be on the left, so they have to be in these right 2, but 5 of them are already solved. So that means 7 can only be here. So therefore, this is 7. That was nice. Oh, and that leaves us some cleanup here. Since we solved this 7, we now know 7 can't be in the middle here. So we have to erase these. Yeah, this puzzle is breaking down fast. Okay, get those 7s out of there. So, 7 can't be on the right, can't be in the middle. It just leaves, on the left or the middle. Just leaves this guy on the right. 2 of them are solved. Therefore, this is a 7. That gets rid of the 7s across the top because we just solved this one. So this guy can go, and this guy can go. Now that doesn't help us with 7s here. I feel like that's slightly lucky. These puzzles do get harder. Knowing these rules really helps. It makes solving these things pretty simple. But they do get harder than this. We will learn new rules. Nothing across the top, nothing across the bottom, nothing on the left. That just leaves these two. Good. And on to this one's already done. Good. I think we've done 7s. So we're good there. Now we can move on to 8s. Let's see what we've got here for 8s. Starting with this one. Nothing across the top, nothing across the bottom. It just leaves the middle. We have no help from these two. Therefore, 8 can go all the way across the middle. Now, of course, I'm noticing something interesting. Hey, we haven't written anything here, right? And there's only one number left to write, and that's 9. Even if we write 9s in all of these, we know this is going to be 9 because nothing else can go there. The reason nothing else can go there is because this entire row is basically done, except for this one. And we know, because of our rules, that if there's only one missing, just throw in the number that's missing. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. It's 9 that's missing. I'm just going to throw the 9 in right now. Now, I want to show you something. We're going to solve this. This isn't hard. Clearly, we've got 8 of the 9 numbers. We know we just got to throw in the missing number. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. It's a 9, obviously. But I do want to show you right here. This is 3 options, 3 cells. 842, 84, and 82. We have at least 2 2s, at least 2 4s, and at least 2 8s. They're all in the same row or big box or column, whichever one you're looking at, right? They're not in the same column. But if they were in the same column, you could say, hey, this works because it's all in the same column. In this case, we can say this works because it's all in the same row, or this works because it's all in the same big box. So we know 8, 4, and 2 are going here. We don't know exactly where they're going, but they are going here. No matter what this says, 9 is solved here. There won't be any 9s written here. And I should clarify this. We can't really look at this until all the numbers are done. So I'm jumping ahead. I apologize. I just want to point this out because this puzzle is so easy, right? We can erase the 842s from in here. Now, there aren't any here because this is already solved, 842, right? But we know it's 9 because of all that other stuff. So 9 goes there. But this is 3 options, 3 boxes. This is important to be able to recognize. Same thing down here. Now, we can't do anything with this yet because we haven't seen the rest of the boxes, right? We have to fill in all the numbers before we run with this. But if you're just letting things catch your eye, hey, look, 7474. Hey, look, 6262. Now, this isn't helpful because, look, there's a 62 as well, right? But this 7474 so far is by itself. Let's see if it ends up that way, okay? Good. Right, 6262. Hey! Now, we can't really use it because there's a 62 right there. I mean, there's a ton of 62s around here. But it's good to be able to start seeing these things. But we're working on 8s. Let's not get ahead of ourselves. Top row is done for 8s. Top big row. How about this one? Okay, done. How about this one? So, no help, no help. No help, sorry. No 8s across the bottom, no 8s across the top. That just leaves these 3. Okay, good. How about this one? Done. How about this one? No help, no help. No 8s across the top, no help. Uh-oh, here's 4 8s we're writing in. There we go. Okay. How about this one? No 8s across the top, no 8s down the right. Now that's interesting. It's this sideways L looking unit, so that leaves these 4. But 2 of them are already solved, which means 8 only goes on the left. If 8 only goes on the left here, it can't go on the left here and here. Interesting. Unfortunately, it doesn't really help us. Okay. Good. 8s are done. Look at this. 82, 82. Interesting. 2 cells, 2 options. I don't know what's going to happen when we put in the 9s, but that's cool. We can keep that in mind for the future. All right, so let's talk about 9s. These top ones are done. These three look horrible. There's one there. Okay, so nothing on the left, nothing on the right. No help from over here. So we just got to put 3 9s in. Once again, I like to write I go in order when I do this from 1 up through 9, so that if I write weird numbers and I can't really tell what it is, I can see by the sequence what it probably is. I don't go out of order because I'll be like, is that a 4 or what is that? Okay, so that one's done. How about this guy? No 9s on the right. That's it. Wow, we're writing 4 9s in here. This one is a mess. This center big box, geez. Okay, on to this one. No help, no help. No 9s on the right. Here's 4 9s here. Not a lot of help. Now that's cool. That one's by itself. We haven't done all the 9s yet. I'm not going to jump ahead, but that's awesome. We're just noticing things while we go. This 9 is done. Okay, no 9s on the right or across the bottom. That leaves these 4 as choices. It's like a backwards L, I guess. These 4 are choices. These 2 are already solved. So we got 9s there. Now 9s can only be in the middle here. Therefore, they can't be in the middle here or here. So we know no 9s across the bottom, no 9s across the middle, no 9s on the right. That leaves these 2. Awesome. Okay. So from here, we've written in all the numbers. Okay. What I like to jump on, you guys know, is going for the ones that are by themselves. This is a 9, this is a 6, this is a 2, right? It goes on and on. That gets rid of this 2, which makes that a 6, which gets rid of that 6, which makes that an 8. This puzzle is basically solved. But I want to look at these 2 options, 2 boxes. Look at this, 8 2 8 2. All by itself in this entire column. Because these 2 are all alone, we can erase all the 8 2s from everything else in this column. Now, there aren't any, unfortunately, so it's not helping us in this instance, but we saw it. Now, this also applies to this big box, because they're both in the big box, right? We can erase all the other 8 2s in this big box. There aren't any more, but still, we saw it. How about this 9 1 9 1? That's awesome. 2 cells, 2 boxes. Now, it only applies to this row. To this column. They're not in a row, and they're not in one big box. They're spread out over both of these big boxes, right? But for this column, we can erase all of the 9 1s that aren't here and here in this column. Because we've got a 9 1 all by itself here and a 9 1 all by itself here. Now, there's no 9 1s to erase, but we saw it. That's cool. Okay, what else do we see? Look at this. 9 6 2, 9 6 2, 9 6 2. That's 3 cells, 3 options. 9, 6, and 2 in these 3 cells. In this column, there are no other 9s, 6s, or 2s. Therefore, we can erase all the 9s, 6s, and 2s in every other cell in this column. Now, there aren't any because they're all solved, but we saw this. Now, let's talk about the big box. 9 6 2, 9 6 2, 9 6 2. Here's a 6 1. We cannot say, hey, 3 cells, 3 options. I can erase all the other 9 6s and 2s. Can we? Yeah, we can. I'm sorry, guys, we can. 9 6 2, 9 6 2, 9 6 2. This is 3 cells, 3 boxes. Therefore, we can get rid of all the other 9 6s and 2s in the rest of this big box. We can erase this 6. 6 can't be here. If 6 were here, we would erase the 6s here, and that would leave 9 2, 9 2, 9 2 as our choices. That would mean that 2 or 9 would be twice in this big box or this column, right? Only 9 2, only 9 2, only 9 2. That's impossible. That's broken. That's not the way Sudoku works. If this is 6, this puzzle is broken. And the way we can tell that is we can see 962, 962, 962. 3 options, 3 cells. There's no other weird numbers in here. If there was a 1 here, it would ruin it, right? If it was 962, 962, 1, 962, then that's 4 options, 3 boxes. That's useless, right? But 9, 6, and 2 go here. 6 cannot go here. So I'm going to erase it. That's gone. That's 3 cells, 3 options. And it works. And all you got to do is remind yourself, well, what if this is 6? If this was 6, then I would have to erase all the 6s here, and we just have 92, 92, 92. And where would 1 go? This is the only spot 1 can go in, right? And that's kind of lucky, so we can see this thing working. But you can't break your puzzle like that. If 9, 6, and 2 have to go here, they can't go here. That's it. So that's a cool one to notice. That's awesome. Okay, you guys might be seeing more of them. It gets hard when you're looking for 4 options, 4 boxes, 5 options, 5 boxes. That can get really rough, you know. Like this. Oh, here, look at this. 82, 86, 62. That's 3 options, 3 cells. We have at least 2 8s, at least 2 6s, at least 2 2s. We don't have any other weird numbers in those 3. Just 62, 86, 82. 3 options, 3 cells. We could erase all the other 862s in all the other cells in this row. Now, there aren't any to erase because they're already solved. But if they weren't solved, this would help us. That is an awesome 3 options, 3 cells. And I want you to compare this to this. These are exactly the same. Granted, all 3 of them are in these 3, and only 2 of each are in these. But as long as you have 2 copies of each number, it's exactly the same. Now let's pretend you didn't have 2 copies of each number. Let's say it was 62, 86, and 8. Well, that only leaves 1, 2. Right? If that 2 wasn't there, we'd only have 1, 2 here. So that would mean one of 2 things. Either number 1, this is 2, or there's a 2 in one of these other cells, which ruins our 3 cells, 3 options all by themselves. They have to be all by themselves for this to work. If there was another little 2 over here, that's not 3 options, 3 cells, because that 2 ruins it. Good. Okay. That's going to be very important later, but now let's just get on to the easy solve, shall we? Okay. This one is by itself. I'm going to go ahead and erase it and make it a 1. It's the only thing it can be because we've done all the numbers and it was left by itself. That leaves 962, 62, 962. Hey, 3 options, 3 cells. Very cool. We got 2 9s, 2 6s, 2 2s. Awesome. So we can't solve it any further. Oh, here's a 2 down here. Yeah, so clean up. Sorry. No 1's here, no 1's here, no 1's here. Good. Here's a 2 by itself. I'm going to go ahead and make it a 2. Here's a 2 I can get rid of. 2's this way. Yep, there's a 2 I can get rid of. 2's this way, 2's this way. Okay. This is a 6 because it's all by itself. Here's a 6 I can get rid of. Nothing to worry about here, nothing to worry about there. Good. Here's an 8 all by itself. This is an 8. Do some cleanup. Here's an 8 to get rid of across. 8s to get rid of up and down are here and here. And 8s to get rid of in the big box are here and here. Remember, when you're cleaning up, you always have to check 3 different ways. The row, the column, and the big box. Okay? Always check the 3. Oops, I missed that one. Look up there. Good. Okay, good. We got rid of those. Here's a 9. All by itself. Therefore, it is a 9. Let's get rid of the 9s in the big box. Good. Let's get rid of the 9s in the row. Good. Let's get rid of the 9s in the column. Good. Okay. Now look at this. 621, 6212. Hey, 3 options, 3 cells, right? And in this case, this is kind of funny. Just to point these things out, we have 2 6s, at least 2 6s. We have at least 2 2s and at least 2 1s. It's perfect, right? Now, this 2's by itself. So pretty obvious. Oh, here's the opposite way to look at it. Check this out. We have 3 cells that are not solved here. 2 of them have a 6 and a 1, and a 6 and a 1. This one does not have a 6 or a 1. This is the opposite rule. This is number 7. 6 and 1 can only be in these 2. There's no 6 and 1s written here. There's no 6 and 1s written here at all. This has got to be 6 or 1. Therefore, we can erase the 2's out of this 6 and 1. Now, in this case, it's completely obvious because 2's by itself right there. We know that's 2, so obviously we can erase the 2's. But I want you to notice, let's pretend all of these cells had 5 numbers written in them each. 5 options, 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 except for these 2. This one has 3 options, this one has 3 options. When we look at these 3 options, 621, 621, as we look at this, we notice, hey, 6 and 1 isn't written in any of these 5 options or any of these 5 options. 6 and 1 in this column are only options in these 2 cells. Because 6 and 1 are only options in these 2 cells, 6 and 1 are going to go here. Therefore, you can erase everything else that isn't a 6 or 1 here. Okay? I can erase this 2 because I have found 2 options, 2 cells. Now, I can also erase it because there's a lone 2 right there. But I want to point out 2 options, 2 cells. Even though there were 3 options in both of these, I realized this is only 2 options, 2 cells, because 6 and 1 can't go anywhere else. This is 6 and 1. And remember, putting that aside, that can sink in. You can hit pause or whatever. But now remember, you can't do both of these. If there was a 6 in front of this 2, I couldn't be like, oh, 6, 1, 6, 1. I can erase this 6 and then 2's by itself so I can get rid of these 2's. You know what I mean? You can't double back on yourself. It's one or the other. It's either Rule 6 or Rule 7. They're either by themselves and it's obvious, or they're not written anywhere else so you can erase the stuff in the middle. You cannot erase the stuff in the middle and then erase the 6 1s everywhere else. That's not how this works. If you have 6 and 1s all over the place, you're just done. Don't even bother to look. Okay. That's an awesome rule. That'll help us a lot in the future. Good. Here's a 2 by itself. Let's go ahead and make it the 2 we knew it was. Okay. Let's clean up. Big box. All the 2's are gone. Row, all the 2's are gone. Column, all the 2's are gone. Hey, 8484. Awesome. We can erase all the 84's everywhere else. Oh, there aren't any because it's already solved, but that's good. Okay, anything else by itself? Here's a 1. Let's get rid of that guy. So this is 1. So, cleaning up the big box first. This 1 goes away. Now the row. This 1 goes away. Now the column. That column's already good. All right, what else is by itself? How about this 9? We know this is a 9. Clean up the big box. Clean up the row. Clean up the column. Column, row. Good, okay. All right, wow, look at all these by themselves down here. Okay, good. So that's nice. What else is by itself? How about this 7? Let's get rid of that 7. Okay, this guy can go. Okay, big box is cleaned up. How about the column? This guy can go. How about the row? This guy can go. Okay, 6-2, 6-1, 6-2. Look at that. Very weird, right? Do we have three options, three cells? We've got a 6, a 2, and a 1. We've got 2 6s, 2 2s, only 1 1. We do not have three options, three cells. More specifically, we have 2 options, 2 cells, 6-2, 6-2. That's awesome. They are completely by themselves within this row. Therefore, 6 and 2 have to go here. If this is 6, this is 2. If this is 2, this is 6. That's it. 6 and 2 are done. Therefore, we can erase all of the 6 2s everywhere else in this row. I can erase this 6. Now, we can also say, hey, this is the only place a 1 could go in this entire row. Therefore, it is 1, right? But this is nice to know, right? Nice to point out. 2 options, 2 boxes. We get to get rid of that 6. That's awesome. Okay, good. Back to it. What else is by itself? Let's do this 6. 6 is by itself, therefore it is a 6. We can get rid of this 6. And this big box, we can get rid of this 6. Good. Big box is done. How about this row? This 6 can go. This 6 can go. How about this column? Nothing to get rid of. Good. All right, what's next? Hi, Chapin. This 1's by itself. Let's put this 1 up here. There we go. Any cleanup? Nothing in the big box. Nothing in the row. Nothing in the column. Okay. How about this 2? That's pretty good. This becomes a 2. Clean up in the big box. Clean up in the row. Clean up in the column. Okay, I think we're good there. This is by itself, this 8, so this is an 8. Do some cleanup. Big box, row, column. Good. Okay, nice. How about this guy? It's obviously a 9. No cleanup there, no cleanup here. Here's some cleanup. Good. All right. Yeah, we didn't get to see a lot of unique rules here, but I do feel like because we sidetracked and talked about them, we still were able to get some info, which is good. We were still able to see examples of more complex rules, even though we could have solved them simpler. I'm just erasing single numbers and throwing them in. You got to be careful at this point because this is where the stupid mistakes happen. And boy, do I make a lot of stupid mistakes. But this is so close that I'm just kind of throwing them in. Okay. So 6 is by itself there. Get rid of this 6. So 2 is by itself there. And get rid of this 2. So 7 is by itself there. Bam. This 2 is by itself. So this is a 2. That leaves this 6 by itself. So this is a 6. And that leaves this 9 by itself. So this is a 9. Awesome. All right. So it should be correct. Obviously, you can check in the back of the book to make sure, or you can just do the counting. 1, 2, 3. If you count 1 through 9 in every big box, 1 through 9 in every row, and 1 through 9 in every column, you've done it right. Good. Yeah, if you find any mistakes, let me know. And I think we were able to learn something there. I think we were able to see some good examples. These puzzles will get harder for us, I promise. Good. All right. See you next time.